So picking a camera can be hard these days, and there's no shortage of information out there that can complicate things. So here's my non-scientific take on why I chose this bad boy. Hey guys, I'm Ben. I'm a photographer and a filmmaker, and welcome to my channel. Okay, so this is it. My latest purchase, my A7R3 in B-roll slow-mo goodness. Okay, so to be honest, it was only a few weeks ago when I was tossing up between the A7R3 and the A7R3 because the A7R4 wasn't even an option. Wow, did that make sense? There's so many R's and 3's. And now I also want to say big shout out to MacArthur Camera House for sorting me out with the deal on this camera. They came through with the goods, so if you ever need anything, go check those guys out. If I zoom in real tight, does that make it real intimate? Does that make me feel like I'm really talking about something serious? Let's go back out. It's a little bit crazy. Now, the reason why I wanted a new camera was because I had an upcoming trip to Tasmania and I wanted a camera that could do justice to the scenes down there. You know, something that could capture great video and great photos. Yahoo indeed, yeah, that's the audio straight out of the camera at Jacob's Ladder. Crazy echoes, right? I also wanted this camera because of its APS-C mode. I can zoom in and take photos at 18 megapixels, effectively giving me two lenses in the one. Let's take this shot for example. If I was to hit the APS-C button, it'd punch in like this. Interesting. Now let's go back out to full frame mode and I'll just overlay that so you can understand exactly how much extra you get out of that zoom. I gotta say, by having the versatility of being able to crop in like this is pretty awesome, and there's no real loss in quality. In fact, I found that the quality in video actually got a little bit sharper. From a photo perspective, your photos then become an 18 megapixel shot instead of 42, which is still very usable. I'm gonna cruise up on these rocks and I think they're gonna try and catch me on the drone at some point as well, so let's see how we go. Okay, so that's a quick example of what it looks like from a vlogging point of view from the 16 to 35mm lens. Coming from a 24 megapixel camera into a 42 megapixel camera makes a huge difference. As a travel and landscape photographer and someone who sells prints and loves to crop in their images, a big megapixel count is a no-brainer. But both cameras have a pretty good megapixel rating. Okay, so now the biggest reason why I chose the A7R3 instead of the A7R4. All right, so I'm looking at the website here and the price of the A7R Mark IV is $3,500 and the Mark III is $2,500. So it's a whole extra $1,000 US, or if you're in Australia, $1,300 more. So $37.49 to $44.99. That's 40% more expensive. Now, I don't know about you, but 40% sounds like a lot. So what do you get for an extra 40%? You get a slightly bigger camera, you get a slightly better viewfinder, you get a slightly better autofocus, you get real-time eye autofocus in video. But here's the big one. 61 megapixels. I mean, what? You only get 42 in the Mark III. What am I gonna do with 42? I mean, do you need more megapixels? Do you need better eye autofocus in video? What do you want? What do you really want?
What do you want?
If you've got an older computer, those 61 megapixel files are probably going to be a bit of a struggle for you, so you may need to have a think about that as well, because upgrading to a A7R4 may actually cost you a little bit more and a whole new computer setup as well. Not to mention the hard drive space as well. You're going to need new hard drives. Great. To be honest, the extra megapixels would make a huge difference, and I would actually really love to have it. But not for 40% more. I'd rather spend that extra $1,300 and put it towards getting a really great lens. It's one of those things that a lot of tech companies do. When they have their new iteration come out, they heavily discount the previous one. But in this case, the previous one is still so good, so I would just take advantage of those deals that Sony have and get the A7R3. Anyway, so that's it from me. If you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed me ranting on about my camera selections over these last couple of weeks, hit that subscribe button, give this a big thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?